This is going to be a short video on how to find horizontal asymptotes if we have a rational function. Of course, a rational function is a quotient, a division of two polynomials, q of x divided by q of x. Of course, q of x cannot be zero. Otherwise, it won't be defined. And that's like, anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about some variables. Let's go ahead and call n, as in Nancy, the degree of the numerator, namely the degree of p of x, and its leading coefficient will be a. Likewise, let's go ahead and designate m, as in Mary, the degree of q of x, the denominator, and its leading coefficient will be b, as in boy. So this is how we find the horizontal asymptotes. If n, the degree of the numerator, is bigger, higher than the degree of the denominator, we conclude that there is no horizontal asymptote, no HA. Now, if n, the degree of the numerator, is equal to the degree of the denominator, we will have a horizontal asymptote at y equals a over b. We look at the leading coefficient. If the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the numerator, of the denominator, sorry, HA is at y equals 0. Okay, it's very just with an example. I'm going to write another condition here. If n equals to m plus 1, namely n is higher than n by just 1 degree, then we will have a slant / oblique asymptote. Okay, but of course, we're talking about just horizontal. But this is the case where we will experience an oblique asymptote if the degree is, the numerator is higher by just 1. So for example, let's go ahead and see these 4 examples, very similar. The degree of the numerator, of course, is 5, leading coefficient 7, the denominator is 2, leading coefficient 4. In this case, of course, since 5, the degree is bigger than 2, what can we conclude? Therefore, no HA. That would be case number 1. Case number 2, what do I have? The degree of the numerator is 3. The degree of the denominator is 2. In this case, 3, of course, is bigger than 2. Same as here, no HA. However, in this one, we may conclude that we will have a slant / oblique asymptote. Why? Because the difference is by 1. So here we will have an oblique. Yeah, I went with the red is better. Oblique / slant asymptote. Okay, so that will be the case number 2. Still no horizontal asymptote, of course. Third example, degrees 2, obviously 2 equals 2. So we are here in case number 3. We will have an HA, horizontal asymptote, where y equals, now we look at the lead coefficient, 7/4. So that's it. Y equals 7/4 will be your asymptote, or horizontal asymptote. Last but not least, in this case, the degree is 1, which of course we don't write. The degree is 2, so 1 is less than 2. That will be the 4th case. So in this case, we will have an HA, horizontal asymptote of y equals 0. Okay? So this is, if we were to ignore the oblique, these are your 3 cases. If the numerator, the degree is higher than the degree of the denominator, no HA. On the other hand, if the numerator is smaller, lower than the degree of the denominator, y equals 0 will be your HA, horizontal asymptote. Last but not least, if the degrees are the same, then look at the leading coefficients, and then you will have your asymptote at A over B. Leading coefficient of the numerator divided by the leading coefficient of the denominator. Hopefully that helps.